My name's Colin Johnson. I'm a partner at MHA based in the northwest of England, and I'm joined today by Sue Rathmell, who is one of our indirect tax partners. Today we're going to talk about the impact of yesterday's budget on businesses operating in the leisure and tourism sector. So hi Sue, nice to speak to you.
Hi Colin, you too.
So one of the themes of the budget yesterday was probably the fact that certain things didn't happen that we hoped may. So perhaps you'd like to just pick up on that as a starting point.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right, Colin. We were hoping, weren't we, for a continuation of the reduction in VAT for hospitality and leisure supplies. At the moment, we're in a 12.5% phase, so it was 5% up until the end of September, and now it's 12.5% until the end of March, and then it's due to go up to 20% from the 1st of April next year, 2022. And I was certainly hoping, and I know that much of the industry was really hoping for a continuation of the 12.5% at the very least, maybe even 5% rather than 12.5%. But it didn't come, and that is disappointing, I think, for the sector. It's been, they had last summer with a lower rate. It would have been great if they could have just had another summer with people holidaying in the UK and having to only pay, 12.5% VAT. That would have really helped them. But there we go.
And that's a rate that applies in quite a lot of countries in Europe already, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, you're
lower
absolutely
rate
right.
VAT.
Yes, a lot of countries around Europe have a lower rate, particularly for hotel accommodation or holiday accommodation, and for restaurants, meals in restaurants. So we are kind of out of step with the rest of Europe on that, and I think it does put our tourism industry at a disadvantage. It's a shame, missed opportunity, I think.
Okay. So one thing that was in the budget was a temporary relief for 22-23 for business rates, a 50% relief up to certain limits.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be welcomed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think businesses within the retail, hospitality and leisure sectors, as you say, so that's restaurants, bars, shops, also gyms and things like that on the high street, they will be able to claim half of their business rates as a reduction, and that's up to a maximum of 110,000 over the course of next year. But I think that will be helpful for businesses. That reduction in cost, I think that's going to be good.
Yeah. Also, potential benefit for the sector, some changes to alcohol duty.
That's right. Yes, I know there were some jokes yesterday about sipping champagne and things, but certainly champagne, the cost will go down, and sparkling wines, the cost will go down because the Chancellor announced that he was going to review how they calculate duty on alcohol, and it's going to be proportionate to the amount of alcohol within the drink. So that's good news for our own producers of sparkling wine. Also, I think pubs are going to be quite pleased. They're going to be allowed to reduce the amount of duty they pay on draft beer and cider. So hopefully that will encourage people to go back into pubs. Fingers crossed.
Okay. There are a couple of things happening in the background, some of which have already been announced at previous budgets. So increases in corporation tax, for example, increase in income tax, tax on dividends, and an increase in national insurance. There was also an increase announced in national minimum wage yesterday as well.
Yeah, that's right. So, to my mind, the Chancellor got the bad news out of the way before his budget. The increase in the corporation tax rate from 19 to 25%, a very significant increase, and also the NI, which will increase for employees and employers and the self-employed. So across the board, 1.5% increase. So our businesses in this sector are going to have to deal not only with that, the increase in the NI and the corporate tax, but also, as you said, the increase in the national minimum wage to £9.50 per hour. So they're already struggling to find staff to work. I'm not sure this is going to help. Maybe it will encourage people to get jobs within the sector. I hope it will, but it's going to be tough for businesses to pay out those kind of costs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There was a small change in the annual investment allowance as well. It's not a massive change, if I'm being honest. The annual investment allowance is given in relation to assets, plant and equipment that the business purchases that it uses in its business, whereby it will bring forward the tax relief that can be obtained on the purchase of those assets. The limit was set back in, I think it was 2016, at £200,000 per year. They extended that a couple of years back, and it's now £1 million per year worth of qualifying expenditure. That's been extended now. It was due to expire at the end of December this year. It's going to now run until the end of March 2023.
Okay.
It does interact with another allowance called the super deduction, which is slightly more generous, but the super deduction will only apply to equipment which is purchased when it's new, whereas the annual investment allowance can be used for qualifying types of second-hand purchases. So that may have some benefit, but I don't anticipate that being a significant impact, to be honest.
I think you're right. I don't think it is. I think this sector needed more than just those things that we've outlined. Really, not very interesting for the sector. Not very exciting. So we'll wait and see what happens in the coming year, whether people will holiday in the UK again. Let's hope they will, for the sake of all the people who work in the sector.
Okay, so I think in relation to what was announced yesterday, I think that's probably about all we've got to say for now. So thanks for joining me, Sue. Nice to speak to you again.
You too.
There's more expert commentary on the budget on the MHA website.